Hey, yo, what's up, my fantastic family and friends? It is your boy, Mr. Dominique, aka the Scorpio King, baby. So, listen, can I talk to you this morning about the power of forgiveness? Okay? The power of forgiveness, all right? That is something that you need to be able to do. You need to be able to forgive anybody that has ever wronged you in your lifetime. Do you know why it is important to forgive people that have done you wrong? Because it allows you to move on with your life and not hold on to that bitterness and not hold a grudge. It is not healthy to hold a grudge. I was just having a conversation with somebody about how stress and all these things that happen, like anxiety and depression and frustration and worry, they actually affect your health physically. I truly do believe that. And the person I was having this little debate with was saying that they don't believe that those things affect your health. And of course, you know me, I had to do a little Google research, and there's a lot of facts out there, and there's a lot of people out there speaking on how these things do affect your health if you don't get them under control. They do. I feel the same way about forgiveness, man. Matter of fact, in my opinion, forgiveness is the launching pad to the stress and the depression and the anxiety sometimes. Not all the time. In some cases, forgiveness is what starts it all. Unforgiveness. The ability to not forgive somebody starts it all. Starts the stress, anxiety, depression, frustration, bitterness, holding a grudge. A lot of times it stems from you not being able to forgive somebody that does something wrong to you, or that you feel have done something wrong to you. And when you forgive somebody, family, you're not forgiving them to let them off the hook. If that's the way you want to look at it, I don't even look at it. I feel like, you get a certain age in life, you don't look at forgiving somebody as letting them off the hook. That's a childish, more immature way of looking at it. More of a teenager way of looking at it. When you're a teenager, your girlfriend breaks your heart, then you want her heart to get broken too. Your boyfriend cheats on you, so you want him to get cheated on too. You feel that way as a teenager and maybe as a young adult. But the older you get, you realize that shit just happens. Shit happens to everybody. We all get cheated on. There's a song out there, everybody plays a fool. And you know what? That is true. Everybody plays a fool at least once, baby. At least once. Some of us played a fool multiple times. I have. I'll be the first one to tell you I have played a fool multiple times. All right? I have. Because I'm not afraid to get back in that thing, get back in the game, get back in the fight. I'm not afraid to give love a try. I have gone from, a heartbreak. I say I've had my heart breaking at least 3 times. I said it, at least 3 times for sure. And I'm gonna say 3 times because I actually really felt those breakups. I actually shed a tear or two. Yeah, I cried. Okay, so that's how you know it was real love and you felt connected to that person. And then it goes wrong, whether it was something I did or she did or we both did, but the relationship sometimes ended sourly, and it's heartbreaking the way things end sometimes. And yes, I was wronged. I've done wrong and I've been done wrong. I've broken hearts and I've gotten my heart broken. So not only have I had to forgive somebody, but I've needed to be forgiven myself. And I actually know what it feels like to not be forgiven. I've actually, my very first girlfriend, I broke her heart. I did. I was young and dumb and thought the grass was greener on the other side. She was truly a great person. I look back at it, she was a sweet person. She was nice and she was everything I needed at that time, but I was too young and dumb to see that. And I moved on, and it broke her heart. I remember her just crying over the phone and not understanding why I wanted to move on. Fast forward a few years, and I started going through some bad relationships, and I realized that what I had was a good relationship, and I messed up. And I knew that I couldn't get that person back because we had moved so far in our life that she had started a family of her own. I had my first kid, so we couldn't be anything more than just friends at this point. But I just remember, before I ran into her, I remember thinking, if I could just run into her and tell her how sorry I am for breaking her heart. I really wanted that, and I really needed that. At that time in my life, I felt like I needed to reach out to her and tell her I'm sorry, and I wanted her to know how good of a girlfriend she was, and I actually got that opportunity. Years later, I ran into her again. We exchanged phone numbers because I was her first real boyfriend. She was my first real girlfriend. So, when we ran into each other, we were happy to see each other. We exchanged numbers. And when I called her, the first thing I did was I apologized. I told her how sorry I was for what I did and that I was wrong. And I let her know that she was awesome and it was never her. I was just young and dumb. I needed to give that to her. And she forgave me. She forgave me, and I needed that. I don't know why, but I did. And that's just one example of me, myself, needing to be forgiven for some wrongdoing that I've done. I've needed to be forgiven several times, and I have. Fortunately for me, I've been able to be forgiven because I'm not too big to apologize to people, and I say I'm sorry. And then I get the forgiveness, and it frees you of the mistake that you made. So if you're someone who's made the mistake and you need to be forgiven, apologize. Apologize. Say you are sorry for what you did, and hopefully you will be forgiven. But if you're not forgiven, if those words aren't given to you, I forgive you. If those words, I accept your apology, aren't forgiven to you, then so what? Oh, okay. Doesn't matter. You're not doing it for that. You're doing it to get it off your chest and get it off your heart, and to let that person know that you acknowledge that you were wrong and you are sorry. You're doing it for you, baby. To free yourself. It's how you free yourself of that guilt that you are holding for the wrongdoing that you did or the mistake that you made. And it's how you move on, you move forward, and you make sure you never make that mistake again. That's called living. That's life, okay? Now, if someone did you wrong and they apologize to you, I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive that person. I know sometimes it's not easy. It's not always easy to forgive somebody that done us wrong. Sometimes we want them to suffer. We want them to suffer for what they did to us. We want God to pay them back. We want God to get them, strike them down with lightning and make them feel our pain, right? We want that sometimes. Family, can I tell you something? Even if that happened to them, it won't take your pain away. It won't take your pain away. What happened to you does not get erased. What happened to you all of a sudden did not happen to you. It still happened to you, and that pain is still there, and that pain is still real. All you got to do is think about it. No matter how bad it's going for them, no matter how much karma tags them, no matter how bad karma gets them, all you got to do is remember what they did to you, and that pain can come back. So it doesn't go away because revenge is taken on them. Even if you're the one who gets the revenge, if you do something to them to get them back and you feel like I got you, we even. You did me wrong, so I did you wrong. It don't change what happened to you, my friend. What happened to you still happened, and you still have to live with that memory. The power of forgiveness is strong. It frees you. It frees your mind. It frees your heart. It frees your spirit. Okay? If someone has done you wrong and they are big enough to come back and apologize, please find it in your heart to accept their apology. And then move on. You ain't got to let them back in your circle. Just say, hey, look, I appreciate you apologizing. I accept your apology. Thank you. I appreciate that. And then move on. You ain't got to let them back in your circle, and you ain't got to let them back in your bed. You ain't got to let them back in your house. You ain't got to let them back in your life. But there's nothing wrong with accepting an apology, because at some point in your life, you needed your apology accepted. And if you haven't, you will. And if you haven't, or if you don't think you never will, are you telling me that you're too big to apologize? Are you telling me that you ain't never did nobody wrong? Oh, so you perfect. You Miss Goody Two Shoes. You Mr. All That. You ain't never made no mistakes. You ain't never did nobody wrong. You ain't never had to apologize. Stop playing with me, okay? Don't be too big to apologize. And don't be too big to forgive. All right? Free your heart, free your mind, free your spirit, free your soul. Let that anger go. Let that bitterness go. Forgiving someone frees you up. Let God take care of that revenge thing. If that's what you want, let karma take care of that revenge thing. You don't need to. And to be truthfully honest with you, if you really want to hurt them, move on. Move on. Trust me, I've done this. Somebody's done me wrong, and I just moved on. And that bothered them even more than anything I could have said to them. Now that felt good, because that gave me a power. That didn't give me no guilt. I didn't feel guilt. I didn't feel petty. I didn't feel like, oh man, I'm stooping down to their level because I just want to get some revenge. You know, I'm being ignorant. I'm being petty. Now I'm acting mean. No, I don't have to do any of that. They no longer exist. I move on. Okay? I don't have time for it, but I will forgive you. If someone apologizes to me, I will forgive them in a heartbeat. I will forgive them. But depending on what you did to me, you will not get close to me again. Okay? And that's all you got to do. You deal with each person accordingly, family. If it was a mistake, forgive them. People make mistakes, but if they dogged you out and did you wrong and broke your heart, betrayed your trust, move on. Put them behind you in the rearview mirror and move on. But please find it in your heart to forgive them so that you don't hang on to anger, resentment, bitterness, and you're holding a grudge, all right? I went well past the time I like to, but I had to get this out. I love you, family. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for all notifications. All right? Like and share these videos. I appreciate you. I love you. Have a blessed day. And one love. The power of forgiveness is yours.